Williams of Cabral International University, Berkeley College of Law, and
Chris Kempson, Professor of Law at Barclay College of Law.
yes, it is our podcast. Actually, about the third episode, we're just going over some things, some basic things, just thinking about the costs associated with law schools. And we were thinking that, well, most schools with student loan issues. And we're not saying you can't go to a traditional law school. You can go if it fits your need. It costs sometimes around 150,000 to 200,000. Some schools are 100,000. For average, 150 to 200,000 at the time you're done with the 3 years program. And then, of course, the challenges come in getting a pay because it first takes 2-3 years, sometime before you actually start earning enough income to make payments. So it can be challenging. And some people in the industry sometimes find it harder finding competitive. The market is competitive too when it comes to job market. And so some lawyers get, frustrated and other things and think, but again, that's the way to go. That's the easiest way to go if you can afford the cost. If you don't want to go, sometimes the student loan, most times the student loan, except you come from a very wealthy family. I see you in other law schools that are not traditional, costs are usually lower. It can go anywhere from 12,000, others are 20,000 or more. I think I was around anywhere from 10,000 to 12,000 with discount tuition. We give this partial tuition to most of our students and things. And so it kind of helps to help them, they make tuition payment too, a monthly payment. And as they can afford to make it easier for them to be in the program. So you come in the program, you can set your budget. If it is $200-300 a month or more, you set your budget for the time you're going to stay 2-3 years, 1 year, a year and a half. If you're taking about 3 courses, or 2 years, if you're taking, 2 courses, about 2 years. And of course, you take 1 course, it's about 3 years. So it's just up to you how you want to spread your program and how fast you want to get done in the program. So again, our goal at Berkeley College of Law is to make it easier for students to earn a law degree, and not just a law degree, but to understand, law as a whole. I think, what do you think about that, Chris? When you think, when the students don't have to deal with heavy financial burden, do you think it make things easier for students to focus?
Well, I absolutely think it does. It is an absolute hardship, both financially and most of the time emotionally, to students when they think of the daunting tuition for traditional law schools, and then the student debt that follows that for years and years and years. And I believe, I know that the financial package that Barclay sets up for our students eases that burden on them so that they can focus on their legal education.
Yes, and sometimes students, they get afraid, but once they see that, oh, this is how our system works, we actually student focus. Yes, we need some funding to run the program, but we got it at a minimum cost and thing. And so it's in reality, it's alternative education we're providing, alternative way to earn a degree, but very effective and progressive, effective, and accurate way, not minimizing the education, but just providing, say, if you can't go out to traditional school, what are your professional? Most professionals don't have the time because they have to leave the program to go to work, part-time, to go to law school full-time, or stay 4 or more years in the program. But for younger people, we encourage you to go if that's your goal, but also know that there are options available, options that when you're done with a program like ours, I don't know about other programs, whether they have life programs. Some of the other universities with life professors, they still get to be expensive. But ours, even though we have life professors that with office hours that guide our students through the whole process to make them understand the program, we still manage to make it real cheap and affordable. Some of us had the experience of having a lot of loan in our past, and so we when the program was set up, we didn't want that to happen, to impact students too. And so all of our professors contributing, in reality, they're making sacrifices because their income is also not comparable to the schools, because most students pay high tuition, so they pay the professor high cost. But our professors are willing to help students actually with a cut of salary cut to help the students understand the program, to impart their knowledge to the students that come into our program. So, want to encourage students to, call the admission office, check in with them and see what information they can gather, that will help them to make it possible. Again, that's just the pros and cons and some of the disadvantages. Of course, sometimes we talk about the alternative, the way to take a bar. Sometimes you may have to get a Master of Law degree to take a bar in some states, but with the new generation that is coming up now, there you may have to do some office hours with a law office, and that will compensate. We're still getting to know all of those, but there are a lot of opportunity that will make it easier enough going forward for a lot of professionals, a lot of people that want to go through programs like ours so they can get a license and they can practice. Again, most lawyers, maybe I think maybe a lot of most lawyers don't go to courtroom. They're not trial lawyers after school. They become transactional lawyers and other part of the law, the practice contract and other things. So there are plenty of work, plenty of profession out there you can use for your law degree out of your professors or other things you can do. So take advantage of everything that is happening when it comes to the law school, and if you look into other law programs, find out they have live professors and how much interest are those professors taking the students. And they say reduce pressure because law school has a lot of pressure. And some of these schools online, they try to imitate the traditional model that is out there already, the old system. But we're trying to change things around, make it more friendlier, make it more focused, and have our students understand and practical and giving practical example, making them to even relating it to their profession. If you did this in a profession, how will you apply this? And with this kind of application, they get to understand the particular subject matter we're talking about. So again, just wanted to talk about the alternative version of a program, the pros and the cons, the advantage versus disadvantages. You have to analyze all of them. In fact, for students that come in, will do the JD and will go to other schools to do the Master of Law, Master of Legal Education, Master of Legal Law, LLM, they can do it. It's actually usually a 1-year program, and 1-year program combined with, now you got a graduate degree in law school, because in law school you got a Juris Doctorate, the JD, then you get a Master of Law. That combined degree, the fees usually may be around 50, 60,000 or 40, 50,000. Now you got a degree that you can charge more. You got more opportunity to be a professor because you got a Master of Law degree or the JSD degree. But that's all because now it's still below the 150,000 or 200,000 that you pay for traditional law school. Because if you did that, even that you still get a JD, then you go out and get a Master of Law if you wanted to be, for some schools that require, Master of Law degree to be professor. So again, there are a lot of options out there. We just want students to be able to check into all of the different options and give our schools, give alternative education like ours, opportunity, the chance to expose the legal system to you and see how you can benefit from that.
I think that's absolutely fantastic, because as we're seeing now with the next generation of bar exam, they are recommending, and 14 states have already adopted the next generation bar exam to be issued and scheduled and tested over the next 4 or 5 years. So encompassing the next graduating classes for those academic years.
Yes.
And I think in doing that, they have basically understood the need not only for traditional lawyering or traditional foundational skills, that's still there, but practical lawyering, the actual practice of law, the counseling aspect of law. How do you take care of clients? How do you do proper research? So not just only the strictly rote memorization of those legal elements and foundational principles, that's still there, but that they emphasize that that's the underpinning of the basically the performance aspect of being a lawyer.
Yeah.
And so that's what that's what the what they call foundational lawyering skills, the legal research, the writing, issue spotting, understanding the practice of law.
Yeah, and then people don't realize, in addition to what you say, a lot of Fortune 500 companies, a lot of major companies are headed by lawyers. Yeah, that's because of the critical thinking and critical analysis that is provided from law schools. Students, if, for example, if you wanted to do a contract, yeah, the person has an MBA, but if you're already a lawyer from a law school, you can spot issues while you're negotiating the contract. You don't have to, I mean, they always have a lawyer present, but you have the expertise to look beyond what is being negotiated for your company. And that is that option that is available, making students know you can appreciate law, you can understand it, but there are a lot of other professions that are available, and you don't have to be intimidated. Just come out and pursue the option, and just learning that deep research that we teach them to. That is a valuable skill you can't get anywhere. The kind of research level law school provides, analyzing. Like we say, you have to teach you to think like a lawyer. And other graduate programs are good, but their focus is different, and law school is actually different. Okay, well, this brings an end to this segment of a podcast. Again, this is Dr. Williams and
Chris Kempson.
of Berkeley College of Law. Thank you so much for listening. Okay, bye-bye.